please give a very warm 4 years from now, Banco Sabadell stage welcome to the Chief Digital Officer at Telefonica. It's Chema Alonso.
Thank you very much. Hey. Well, good morning. Hello, hackers. How is it going? What are my slides? I cannot see the slides. Ah, here it is. Well, can you see the slides? Ah, there. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you very much to everybody for being here. I really appreciated you taking your time in this event, which is full of activities. And today, I just wanted to talk about something that we've been pushing in a long journey internally into Telefonica and into the telco sector, as you probably know, because it was announced yesterday. What we were trying to do is to change the way we are making available our capabilities for the digital creators. So far, if you want to talk to one telco and you want to use one capability, the most probably thing that you need to do is to go to a salesman and sign manually a contract, and then someone from the telco industry is going to configure a router or a private 5G network, or is going to configure using a console the service that you want for the telco. And that service is not going to be exactly the same if you go to another telco. And we wanted to change that. The reality is that everything is changing very quickly. We live in a tsunami of new innovation, in a tsunami of new technologies that day by day are changing the way we behave. Probably most of you are using generative AI. How many of you are using DALL-E, Midjourney, ChatGPT as part of your day by day? Because everything changes quickly. And one of the things that we see is that there are two things that are going to increase always, and it's going to be like food and water for the companies of the future. One is computing. Every service that you probably are thinking of, every new digital innovation that you are probably using is using more compute than digital services that were before. And the same with communication. We are thinking in 8K video with 3D environment, multi-person connected in a single room. Everything is going to require more communication and more computing. And the truth is that it's not going to be enough for everyone. We are estimating the investment that we need in Europe just to make the future networks that are required for these new digital services, and it's massive investment. We need to deploy low latency technologies. We need to deploy fiber to the home, which in some countries like Spain is very well deployed, but in other countries like Germany or the UK are behind. We need to deploy fiber to the room. We need to deploy 5G standalone with network slicing capabilities and the most fancy technologies in 5G. We need to deploy Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 7. But on top of that, we need to deploy computing on the edge. We need to deploy new infrastructure. We need to deploy edge computing with GPUs, with CPUs, etc. And if we do that, and we are not going to do this in a software-based way, if we are not going to create that network in a programmable mode, the only ones that are going to have a scale enough to deal with all the telcos are big corporations. And we want to change that way of working with us. Because of all of these reasons, yesterday was announced the Open Gateway Initiative. This initiative has been discussed the last year in the GSMA. It was presented in June in the board of Kuala Lumpur, and it was signed in Mexico in the board of September. And that memorandum of understanding has been signed by 21 telcos globally. Big telcos that, if we sum all the connections that these 21 telcos has signed, we have 3 billion connections, 3 billion devices connected to the network to share the same principles. It means we are going to create the same APIs to access to the capabilities. They are going to be available in the hyperscales markets that developers are using today, and all of them are created developer first. It means that all capabilities should be available in one single line of code, which is what the developer wants. So in order to make this real and have in this Congress some examples of this technology, we've been working hard. And if you go to some of these 21 telco, especially Telefónica, you can go to Telefónica booth. You can test the APIs on some use cases. But we've been working with Google, with Microsoft, with Amazon, with Vonage, with signed agreements with them. All of them have an early adopters program that allows any of you to access to these APIs to create innovation and design new digital services. And these are the companies that signed the agreement. And also, we've been working with customers. We've been working with consultancy companies, etc., to make this possible. And the idea is quite simple. What we are trying to build is just one single network for the whole internet, one single capability from the telco industry for the whole internet. With one single API, it doesn't matter if the user of your app is connected to Telefónica, to Orange, to Deutsche Telekom, to any other company that has signed the agreement. The API is going to work exactly the same way. So for the developer, we are going transparent at all. And this is the idea. We have the capabilities in the telco. We are going to expose that capabilities in these new APIs that are standardized in the committee called CAMARA. CAMARA is the Committee for Standardization in the GSMA, which is defining what are the APIs that are going to be published in the markets, and developers can use it. And one important thing in this graph that we use to manage is that it's wrong. I always explain that this graph is wrong, because it's true that we are connected to the cloud, the network is connected to the cloud, we are providing to the backend internet connection and all the capabilities that they require. But the truth is that anytime that a customer wants to connect to the user interface, to the front end of the digital service, needs to go through a network connection. And that network connection can be managed also by the APIs that we are creating in CAMARA. The idea is not only standardize the most common APIs, like communication as a platform that are very common, like RCS, SMS, web RTC, voice and video call forwarding, etc. Not only the network APIs for quality on demand on Wi-Fi and on mobile, information related to the network to discover what is the best route to have a service, but also payments, which is carrier billing is one of the most required services from the telco industry. Big corporations like Google, TikTok, Fortnite, YouTube, all of them are using that capabilities, and it's big business for them because it's very easy to charge to the customer, but not for the startups, because you don't have a scale enough to manage complexity of the sector. What we are doing is standardizing APIs for payments, for identity, security, etc. This is the target of this project, and we've been having some examples with innovation. This is one example of call forwarding and video call forwarding. The idea is quite simple. If you are you have an app in a VR environment and it's connected to home and you receive a call, you can use the APIs to redirect calls to your app, and you don't need to disengage the customer from your experience. This is one example that we did with the app. Another API that is standardized is quality on demand in mobile. We use it for create mobile boosting. The idea is that if you are connected in an antenna and that antenna is in a congestion with a lot of traffic for a lot of devices, you can use this premium API and get a non-congestion channel in the antenna that allows you to have a better quality for the digital service. In some example, if you are thinking, for instance, in point of sales in a crowded space like a stadium, a festival, or whatever, this means business for the service, because if the point of sale is not working, the customer do churn or do not buy, which is the worst experience. This is an example. This is how in Spain we use this service in Telefónica, and we are using tokens, which is a reward program using tokenomics that we have in Telefónica of Spain. This is another example. This is with a startup called Cinfo. We did it with Amazon Web Service, and the idea is that we use combination of both technology. First one, quality on demand on mobile, and second one is the usage of wavelength on edge. And the idea is quite simple. This is a company that is using drones, so webcam, to do live streaming of amateur sports like volleyball, beach volleyball, or whatever you think that makes sense to stream, and people receive in real time the video. If you are connected to one antenna which is under congestion, or you need to wait to be digitalized, the image is going to take long and it's not going to be useful. And with the usage of this technology, it's possible to have it. This is another example we created with Microsoft. This is Apolar. It's a company that is creating HoloLens experiences in the field of e-health. And the idea is that it's protecting the connection in Wi-Fi using quality on demand on mobile and quality on demand on mobile. And as you can see, in all the APIs that are already standardized in the industry, you can read if it's a Camara API. Another example, this is a payment, carrier billing. You know that you can charge using the bill of a telco to any customer if it's less than 50 euros and is a digital asset and is not more than 300 euros per month. This is the regulation for carrier billing. And today, it's only available for big corporations. We created the API, and startups like this, which is Canto, is a karaoke startup, can use this API, one single line of code, and take advantage of the capabilities of the telco industry just with that. And you can, in this example, from TV. This is another example quite useful. This is from Microsoft. We've been working with them in the States. And this is a remote driving company. It's allowing to remote driving the cars of the employees. And in order of securing the communication between the car and the driver, they are using quality on demand on mobile APIs to make sure that the car is responding in the right moment. Because if not, you know, it will crash. If you want to text, or you want to create something, or you want to learn anything from us, or you want to teach something to us that probably is the best for Telefónica, we have the Early Adopters program that you can join. This is the QR code, and we are working with Bonus, with Azure, with Google Cloud, and Amazon. It doesn't matter in which technology, in which cloud you are developing your technology. We are happy with that. We don't want to bring you to our platform. What we want is make available our capabilities through the platform that you are using to create your technology. These are the first round of APIs that are available. As you can see, the base location for anti-fraud, quality on demand for mobile, for Wi-Fi, device status, SIM swap API for anti-fraud, SMS, number verification, and information related to the blockchain associated to the phone number, which is one of the things that we are putting on production. And the last part is that if you are a startup and wants to create something related to this technology or this Open Gateway initiative, we are willing to do more. We are willing to help you in developing your technology or using these APIs, but on top of that, we are willing to invest in your startup. So from Wyra, that you probably know, is the open innovation company from Telefonica. It's a startup incubation that you can visit here in the Hall 8. We are going to help you in developing your technology. This is a call for startups that is available since today. This is the QR code. I'm more than happy of working with you. And that's all. If you want to create something managing the network or taking advantage of the capabilities that the telco industry is investing on, you don't need to be Google or TikTok or any of those big OTTs to take advantage of that. You can use the API and put it in practice in your technology. Thank you very much for your time.